Hello, welcome to retro review number something or other. Anyway, so today I'm doing a review on the Kaos Kaoscillator Pro, not the Pro Plus. So we talk about retro reviews. The rules of engagement are that I had to buy the device for under $200 Australian. Should have MIDI, which this one does. No home keyboards. Well, this one's definitely isn't a home keyboard by any stretch. And there are exceptions allowed. So this is a very quick view of the Kaos Kaoscillator Pro. I'll go through some of the other bits and pieces. So to start off with, there is several models for this. The Pro was very quickly superseded by the Pro Plus, but when I went and did a whole bunch of investigations to try and figure out what the actual differences were and why Korg suddenly needed a whole new device, I actually couldn't find any. And that was a little disappointing because I'm like thinking, well, is it got a whole bunch of new sounds, a whole bunch of new features? No, there just really isn't no difference, except for that the Pro Plus has a fix on the external MIDI sync that the Pro doesn't. You can't upgrade this feature, you can't do anything like that. So it's a little bit of a negative on this respect. Anyway, let's get into how the device works. So the device is effectively a ability to create sounds using this. You've got, and it's cool. You know, there's some good sounds in this. Put down the gate. And then I think there's a switch on the back here. I'm going to try not to knock this because the power supply is a little bit, which is the gate time. And you can actually have a speed or a gate time on the back here for this. So, and then obviously you can do things with. Okay, so it's really good. You could find some really good sounds in this. It's got a good plethora of sounds in it. So to pick you can just pick a scale, and obviously go through there, and then obviously this works based on the scale you've chosen. Choose a key. Keys up the top there, because I can say I want to do everything in, you know, D minor, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian. So if we go back to a normal C, Ionian, and that's kind of cool. It's also got your looping down the bottom here, so if I want to set up a loop, I can just go here, hit record, pick my channel, it'll do this, and it will actually, so it's a little bit different than the KP3 looping, and because it will do an overdub, whereas the KP3 looping doesn't quite do that. So you can come up with some really kind of funky loops, and you can obviously save them to an SD card, just a basic 2 gig SD cards, which can be a little bit tricky to come across now. And then obviously you can actually then, you know, come up with a different sound, which completely doesn't match, really. And then you can go from there. Look, you also can do input, so you can actually have your sounds constantly coming in via either the line in or the mic in, and just do normal loops. And for the looping side of things, it can be kind of cool. So if you want to choose your loop length, you can choose it either be 8, 16 steps, and all the rest of it. So I find it's much easier to work on 16, but it doesn't actually default to 16 and keeps coming back. Now I don't know if that's just something that I've done, or it's done, or whatever, but I haven't, not as good as it could be. You've got great sounds, kind of. Oh, this is good. I feel like I'm playing Nintendo. which is great. And that's really good if you're doing some glitch work or you want to do some stuff like that. To use, it's really kind of fun. You know, it's great to have something that's away from a keyboard style, and I'd love to see more things along this lines where you can use the different XY pad to play notes. Now the differences with this, and other people have come up with this in their various reviews, is this does not send note data. It's a basic note on or off, but the position is a CC control. So if I hit here, it's not saying I'm going to play this extra note, it's just playing a note, and then up here is the same note but just a different CC position. So a bit monophonic in that sense, but if you ignore that for your recording side of things and just coming up with this to sort of work with, it's great. What has let me down on this particular unit is that the sounds are great, you can do lots of cool stuff with them, but you can't mod them. There is absolutely, that I could find, a way to say I want to adjust attack, a decay, a delay, length, or anything along that lines. So you're stuck with this pre-recorded sound. So I don't know if I would actually class this as a synthesizer in the true sense, where you can actually go and muck around and synthesize sound. And in that respect, it really let me down. I was, you know, got these great drums, but sometimes you just go, oh, it'd be good if they were just slightly different. So great for building some great glitch stuff. Well, I don't know why they do that, but anyway. There's so much to play with in here, and I can, you know, I'm always finding things that I've gone, oh, I haven't looked at that before, and finding new ways to play sounds that I hadn't. And overall, the sounds quality coming out of it is really good. Other than that, there's really not a lot to the box. You know, you sit here, you play your sounds, you figure it out, you do your loops. The looping you can get really, really cool with. And however, I prefer the loop recording hand on the KP3 than I do on this. But if you ask me why, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if I like the overdubbing so much as I do like the KP3. The other thing with who is the KP3, when it's got the loop, it is a bit more visual to see where you actually are in the loop. So they both have the pros and cons, in the fact that overdubbing can be really, really cool. Except sometimes I find that when I'm doing this, like so if I start the loop, oops, so it starts sometimes halfway through, even though I don't have anything else playing. So it's quite easy to come up with interesting bits and pieces. And obviously if you don't like something, you can just raise that loop and then it's cool. As you can do some cool. Which is really, really cool for doing some great lines. And playability, again, I'd be more than happy to play this live, more than a keyboard, mainly because I'm not particularly a good keyboardist, as you would have seen on other videos, but this is just very, very cool. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to leave it there. I have probably gone a bit longer than I would have expected to, and in the meantime, I'm going to try and come up with something better than average.